your first name, your last name, your company name, and then very briefly your scope of work. So that's 30 seconds. And at first, I want to go ahead and introduce Kevin Nixon with Kaufman Lynn Construction, who is our project manager. So if you want to kick it off and show them how it's done, Kevin, and then we will continue from there.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kevin Nixon. I'm the project manager for Lake Lytal, Phase 3. We are going to be presenting the Phase 3 portion of the Lake Lytal Aquatic Center, which Phase 1 was completed, which was a tree relocation, and Phase 2 was a pretty much site infrastructure development. And now Phase 3 is going into GMP and slated for a early September start. So on this project, we will be doing a Olympic-sized pool along with a few other buildings that are going to be support staff buildings and concession buildings on the site with minimal landscaping, I should say. Along with that, which is going to be adjacent to the project, is going to be a YMCA project that is going to be built by another contractor, Hedricks Brothers, which is unrelated to this project, however, but it will be going in tandem with this project as we're going vertical.
Awesome, Kevin. So if we could take a quick pause because we are excited to dive in, but we want to know who's in the room. Want to thank you, Kirk, for that little YMCA. I see you. We appreciate you. We love to have you here. And so let's go ahead and introduce the MCO team so we can kind of set the tone, and then we'll have all of our participants do their 30-second introduction, and then we'll hop into the details. But thanks for getting us excited. We're looking forward to hearing more. So let's start with Nakia on the MCO team. We're just going to do our 30-second introductions, and then we'll have I believe Matt introduce himself, and then we're going to go into our participants. So get ready when we call you. Be ready to give your 30-second introduction so people can know who's in the room.
Good morning and happy Thursday, everyone. I am Nakia Jones, your business development manager here at MCO, ready to serve all of you. Welcome.
Kendi?
Good morning, everybody. Kendi Warren, COO at MCO Construction and Services, Inc. And we are a small company with a large presence.
Excellent. Janisa?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Janisa Abrego, and I'm here with MCO Office Coordinator. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And our phenomenal producer, Michelle?
Good morning, everyone. I'm also with MCO Construction. I'm Michelle Mazer, and I'm also Ann McNeil's Executive Assistant.
Excellent. Matt with Kaufman Lynn?
Yes, good morning. This is Matt Holloway with Kaufman Lynn Construction. I'm also a project manager and will be working with Kevin on the project.
Okay, awesome. All right, and so now we're going to pop like popcorn. Elias, if you'd like to introduce yourself, your 30-second introduction.
Okay, I think we have one more MCO.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Ann. I miss you. Thank you for having the session. My name is Eli Mullen. I'm the CEO of Brickell Capital Finance. We do real estate and business financing, but specializing in contractors and subcontractor financing. We've got a 5-pack that we do. We do contract financing. We do lines of credit. We do labor financing. We do material financing, all for contractors and subcontractors.
Thank you, Elias. All right, Kirk.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Thank you, MCO team, for your smiles, your energy. It's always impressive, as I mentioned in the chat. I work with Eli, I represent Sizzle TV. I'm a marketing, media, and money guy. I also represent Brickell Capital Finance. And those 5 lines of credit, the 5-pack, are all unsecured and renewing. And Ann always loves to hear that. Unsecured is muy importante. No collateral for you people. Reach out to him or myself, and and we can help you out.
Excellent. Permit zone? Okay, let's go over to, it looks like I see Sinorama. Martyr, if you want to come off mute and introduce yourself, we'll come back to you, permit zone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Lisa Martyr. I'm certified woman-owned small business enterprise. I own Sinorama, North Palm Beach. We do signs from the smallest room signs to lit channel letters, monuments, EMC signs. So I tell people we're really not in the sign business, we're in the branding business. Anything you want branded onto your property or project, we can do for you.
Love it. Faye. You're on mute, Faye.
Signarama, they actually make a sign that is interactive like a phone. It's amazing. I've been there. So I'm Faye Constantino with Top Flight Services. We do staffing and facility maintenance, and we have contracts with Palm Beach County for maintenance workers.
Love it.
All right.
Times in 1 week. We're on a roll, Miss Faye. And Portia on the MCO team. I'm sorry I missed you.
Oh, that's quite all right. I actually lost connection, so you didn't. So my name is Portia. I'm with MCO Construction, and I am here doing document control and marketing.
Excellent. Latricia?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Latricia Nazine, owner of Dirt Busters Cleaning Services in South Florida. I do cleaning for construction. I don't do homes. I do janitorial service as well, and trash removal as well. I've been in the business since 2021 and looking to climb the ladders.
Excellent. Thank you. Andres?
Hello, everybody. I'm Andres Hoffman with Global Door Suppliers, LLC. We provide doors, supply them and install them, delivery, the whole deal with supervision. Thank you.
Excellent. Great to see you again, too.
Yes,
Wixon. All right, we'll come back to Wixon. All right, Dr. Reuter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle Bennett. I am the sales manager for Dr. Reuter Plumbing. We are located in Riviera Beach, and we do plumbing for residential, commercial, new properties, new management, everything. And we're SBE certified, MBE certified, and WBE certified.
Excellent. Thank you. Ruby. You're on mute if you're talking, Ruby.
Good morning. I'm Ruby Mackey. I'm in the process of building an apartment complex. So I'm in the construction industry.
Awesome. What's the name of your business, Ruby?
Ruby Mackey, LLC.
All right. Excellent. Thank you for being here with us. Anthony Como.
Good morning, guys. I'm Anthony with Trinity Electrical Solutions. We're a licensed, bonded, and insured electrical contractor that services both industrial, commercial, and residential projects. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Jessica Lazama.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys? Love seeing such a strong and diverse team representing MCO. Truly love seeing the kind of representation and energy. Thank you guys for having us. My name is Jessica. I'm representing CMS International Group. We are based in Miami Gardens. We are a glazing and window and door company. We specialize in multifamily, single family, and commercial high-rise. So we are more than happy to assist in any projects that MCO has for us, and we would love to work with this project. So thank you for having us.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. All right, Alex.
Oh, hey Hey everyone, my name is Alex. I represent PIF Construction Group. We're a general contractor, a plumbing contractor, utilities, and public service. And we're happy to be here. Well, I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. Daniela. All right. Are you there, Daniela? We can come back. Julian, if you're able to come off mute and introduce yourself.
Yeah, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, my name is Julian Smallwood. I'm a project coordinator for AEAK LLC. We specialize in general contracting, roofing, and low voltage electrical work. We are DBE, SBE, and MBE, and HubZone certified. So happy to be on the call and thank you for everything.
Excellent. Thank you for being here. All right. Vandenberg.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, my name is Albert with UES Universal Engineering Sciences. Our scope of work ranges from environmental, geotechnical to testing and inspections. So, density testing, special inspections, threshold inspections. I typically tell our clients there isn't a test or inspection we don't do. So I apologize, my camera isn't working at the moment, or else you all could see my my lovely face. Anyway, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you for being here. All right, Lisa. All right, Wixon, let's come back to you. I see you got your camera on.
Hello, guys. My name is Wixon Remy, co-owner of Pit Visions Company. And what we specialize in is overall interior and exterior signage and also monument design. Thank you guys so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here. Veronica.
Good morning, all. My name is Veronica Camo. I represent Trinity Electrical Solutions along with Anthony Camo. And we're an electrical solutions company and we're here to provide. Thank you.
Awesome to see you again, Veronica. Thank you for being here. All right. Is Yaneska Fabiana, are you able to come off mute? Okay.
Hello, good morning. I am a construction estimator for the small company Miami-Dade. The small company is the name AEILKC. It's the same company about the Julian Small Wood.
Excellent. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
All right, Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Jason, stepping in for Stephanie. She stepped away for the moment, but we are a professional and light industrial construction staffing firm based in West Palm Beach, Florida, SBE, WBE certified with Palm Beach County as well. Thank you for having us.
Excellent. AP Electronic. All right, Nick Schaller.
Hi, sorry, I'm outside. I apologize for the inconvenience. However, Nick Scholler, president of IBD Outdoor Rooms. We specialize in ready to finish fire pits, fireplaces, and outdoor kitchens. Excited to connect. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's not an inconvenience because we know you are all growing businesses and you're out there working. So we appreciate you taking the time to pop in because we know that you're busy running your business. So thank you for being here.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
Pete, are you available and able to come off mute and introduce yourself? All right, Elena. All right, Elena might be out in the field as well. Elias? Or did we get Elias? Okay, we did. Okay, is there any, I think that we got all of our guests. If we did not get you, please put a note in the chat and we'll make sure to call to reach out to you. Very excited right now to introduce remarks. Let's see, I see we got a note in the chat. Let me scroll down. Okay, so I want to make sure that we introduce, the reason why we're here. Just want to welcome Miss Ann McNeil to bring forth remarks and thank her for her leadership and advocacy for small businesses and making sure that we do the work to connect and support one another as we grow, because we know we can't be 25 places at once. But we're appreciative of Miss Ann McNeil and really being intentional about the way that we do outreach and being able to engage and connect with contractors, not just with one project, but from project to project. So Ms. Ann McNeil, if you're available to bring forth remarks, we are looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so very much, Tylene, and everybody. I hope you can hear me. I'm bringing greetings from Greece, actually, but I'm on a ship and the Wi-Fi is not that stable. So if I go in and out, just charge it to my head and not my heart. But anyway, on behalf of MCO and all of our associated companies, we want to thank all of you for participating in this outreach and all of the outreaches that we do for our clients, because our desire is to take contacts on your behalf and turn those contacts into contracts. So greetings on behalf of MCO Construction, MCO Consulting, and definitely our client Kaufman Lynn. So with that, Tylene, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you everybody for joining. And you're on mute, Tylene.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ann McNeil. And so, and thank you to everyone for introducing yourself and for being here today. We will make sure that everybody gets the chat after this so you can connect with people. It's not just about connecting with Kaufman Lynn, the contractor, but you also want to connect with the other businesses that are in this room, because if you can't make it to an outreach meeting one day, you never know if you've got that relationship and someone else can make it for you. You're able to be in more than one place at one time. So I just want to go back one more time to see, is Elena, are you available to introduce yourself? Okay. All right, so let's move on to Mr. Kevin Nixon. We are so excited to hear about the project. We'll share the presentation on the screen. If you have questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. And then Kevin will come to the time where he'll ask for questions and we'll make sure that he can address those for you all.
Okay. Hello again. Tylene, you're going to move through the slides, right?
Yep, we got you, Kevin.
Okay.
You just let us know when.
All right, no worries. So again, this project is an Olympic aquatic center, as you say. Basically, the aquatic center. It's going to have it'll consist of a Olympic-sized pool and a aquatic play zone, which is going to be located just south of the YMCA. As you can see in this rendering here in this photo, this is a great depiction of what phase 3 is going to look like. So at below where we have that bus entry, and we have a entry building, and then we will have building number 2, which will be a support building for the APZ, which is a concession area. And then just north, I would say north by looking at the photo, but it's south. There's a support staff building that is going to be next to the pool. And then the building number 4 is going to be a pump room, which is primarily for the pool itself and dive well. Right now we've got, you can go to the next slide. Sorry. I think we gotta keep going until the next slide goes to. Keep going. All right. I think that's where I wanted to start, but I'm sorry. Go to slide number 7, I believe it is. Yeah. So the competitive pool is going to be, I believe it's going to be 50 meters, and that's what they wanted. It's going to have 2 to 4 platforms for diving, and I believe one's going to be a 30 meter platform. And then also it's going to be a 20-foot well. But go to the next slide. Next slide. So the entry building is going to primarily where we're going to need some participation on the entry building we're going to have HCMU work. We're going to have concrete. We're also going to have fencing at the entry, and then primarily around the aquatic play zone, we have some miscellaneous fencing scope of work that will be, I believe it's aluminum fencing in that area as well. Building number 2, which is the building next to the aquatic play zone, that will have glazing as well. We will have some glazing, acoustical ceilings, and a lot of painting. Also, I heard someone signage, Tylene. There was a gentleman that you talked about. Pip, is it Pip Vision for the
I
monument
believe that's
signs?
Randy Wixom. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not shown here, but on the entry part during phase 2, we did 2 entry walls, and we will have signage that will need to be done for the 2 entry walls. We do also have some signage that are going to be going above the concession area as well, but it is not finalized. To my understanding, the county may look to do some type of art in I think I can't recall what they call it, but there is they're looking to do some type of art in the play zone area. So I'm not too sure if they're going to go with the signage in that area. Let's keep going. Yeah, we just talked about the concessions. Yeah, the support staff building. Yeah, so support staff, there's that building will primarily have a lot of glazing, interior glazing. We will have drywall, painting. Also, there'll be an extensive electrical and HVAC work. The building just next to it, right of it, is going to be the pump room. That's going to be primarily just concrete work. There is a holding tank inside that building that is going to be most likely minus 17 feet. It's going to be basically just a big well for a holding tank. So there's not much work that's going to be going in there. We'll have painting as well, and a few miscellaneous metals for railings. But the pool guy would most likely be doing majority of the work in there for piping and the underground work. However, all 3 buildings will basically need drywall, paint, plumbing, electrical, and landscaping, and irrigation will be very minimal. Right now, the architect is working on a revision for the aquatic play area. They may add some more landscaping. I don't have any details on that because primarily in phase 2, we did all the landscaping and irrigation rough. The landscaping is not complete, but we've done all the infrastructure for phase 2. And Tylene, at one point after we go through the slide, I have a drawing I want to kind of walk through and show everyone, just to give you a heads up.
Okay, so you'll share that on the screen?
Yeah, I'll share that on my screen.
Okay, thanks.
Just to give everybody a 2D view of what the project looked like. Next slide. Yeah, so that will be the pump building. I think the next slide should a couple of slides. I want to move to the slides where we give you the overview. Okay, perfect. So we have a parking lot that's going to be along Kirk Road. The infrastructure for that parking lot is already in. However, we will need curbing and asphalt work for that parking area, which is the parking just north of the building that you see in the picture. We do have fencing again around the aquatic play zone and primarily around the whole site. We have signage at the entry buildings. We have site work, but it's very minimal. The site work will consist within 5 feet of each building. Concrete, we do have an extensive amount of concrete work around the pool area. In that picture, it's not concrete slabs. It's basically going to be poured in place concrete with control joints, most likely. We have a dumpster enclosure, which is just west of the aquatic play zone. We will need concrete bollards for that as well. And I believe that primarily wraps up the scope for phase 3 around the aquatic play zone. Next slide. So this is the future of the aquatic play zone and the pool. Where you see that excavator, that's primarily where that's the end of the pool, and then they're going south. So in the middle is going to be the YMCA. So currently all the infrastructure is in. We've got all the site work done during phase 2 and site lighting. So everything that's going to be happening in phase 3 is going to be vertical construction. Next slide. This is north along Kirk Road, looking south at the project. As you can see, same condition, just giving you an idea of where the project is today. Next slide. This is south view looking off of Kirk and Gun Club. This would be looking directly behind the aquatic play zone and the Olympic size pool. This is the west view. This is the west view looking east. This is where the new parking drive will be. And this is basically looking at the back of building number 2. North side, this will be the site of the YMCA, which is what we're putting in right now in this photo. From what you see in that photo, that's the site utility infrastructure we're putting in for the YMCA, which will be done by Hendricks Brothers. So, Tylene, everyone has access to this, so they can see the scope of work that will be needed on this project, right? I don't know if anyone wants to take a screenshot or.
Yes, so we will share the presentation with everyone. So
Okay.
as long as you registered, we will have your email and we'll send out the presentation as well as a copy of the chat for everyone.
Okay. Yeah, and again, scope of work will be the shell, concrete. We have painting, roofing, flooring, acoustical ceiling, drywall, fencing, along with the miscellaneous metals. We do have entry signage, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, and landscape and irrigation. So I'm going to share a picture of the overall site. Can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So again, just a quick recap. All of the work that was done in phase 3 is all the site infrastructure that we've put in to date. So everything east of this red line is already in. This is building number 1, building number 2, and building number 2 extension. That's for the aquatic play zone. And then we have building number 3 and 4, which will be the pump room. This is the parking area that we will need concrete, asphalt and concrete curbing, and that is the dumpster enclosure. And primarily, all of the hardscape around the pool and aquatic play zone is going to be concrete. With control lines, so or they may do a decorative finish or stamp concrete, I should say. Everything within the hash line is the counties, and anything north of it is going to be the YMCA. So it just gives you an idea that while we're doing this project, we have to work along with the YMCA and Hedrick Brothers, because a lot of the infrastructure that we're putting in ties into the YMCA. The only difference is that separates the project is a lease line, an imaginary lease line that the YMCA has leased from the county. If there's any questions, I'm free to open and answer questions if anyone has anything.
All right. If you know how to raise your hand, that's great. Or you can drop it in the chat if anyone has any questions.
Let's see.
Are there any permit, procurement, administration scope opportunities for certified SMBE subs on this project, or do you already facilitate this service for the project?
This is already facilitated with the county.
Okay, and we will, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
and then the other part of the question we will provide. So in the end of the slideshow, there is a Kaufman Lynn team slide that has Laura Reese and Shelly Ross, I believe. They are the Kaufman Lynn pre-qualification team that would be your points of contact. So we'll make sure that you get their contact information, and then I'll also drop it in the chat in a moment. So you will get that to find out, where you are with your pre-qualification process with Kaufman Lynn. And then I see there's a question here. What is the available budget?
I don't have an available budget. We're putting together a GMP for phase 3. We did this project in 3 phases, and so there was not an original budget, I should say. We did do a preliminary budget to the county, but that was just a rough order of magnitude. So we do not have a preliminary budget at the moment. We have a target budget.
Okay, where will bid opportunities be posted?
Bid opportunities will be posted on Building Connected.
All right. Any other questions? Let's see.
Oh, I see construction layout services.
Okay, and then I also just dropped the link to begin the pre-qualification for Kaufman Lynn, as well as the contact information for Laura Rees, which is the pre-qualification coordinator. Yeah. And then do we have a firm? Okay, you saw that one, providing construction layout surveying.
I do have someone on board for phase 2. I will say this though, we don't for phase 3. Certainly would like to propose a price for that if you want to bid on that. But most likely, given the fact that the project is moving in 3 phases, when it comes to surveying, the county and the YMCA, they're thinking of keeping it with one surveyor only because of the ongoing records and recording the as-built and getting the plan through final processing is going to be a lot easier if we do it with one person. So, but we are still open to bids. I'm not going to say no.
Okay,
Things
excellent.
can change.
Okay, and looks like we have a question from Alex. You got your hand raised. Go ahead.
Hey, so I see on the screen that the bids due date was April 15th. Is that for the phase 2?
No, that's for phase 3. So what I showed, what we just went over was phase 3. Phase
Okay.
2 is already completed. We're still on, we're just finishing up the site infrastructure essentially for the YMCA. But phase 3 right now, we are putting together the GMP and looking to start this project early September.
Okay, so will there be an amended date for the bids due?
I think at this point we won't have an amended date unless the architect and the owner decide to make significant changes and change that target date. We would
I
amend
think
that.
what he's referring to is on your screen right now. It says bids due April 15, 2025. That's next week. The bids are due next week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, Latricia, we have a hand. I see you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes. When you guys said it's going to be posted on Bidding Connect, will we get the invite, or do we have to go on there to find the invite for ourselves? And I also heard Kevin saying phases. Which phase would the cleaning be in? Would that be in phase 3?
Yes. Phase 3 is when we would do the cleaning. That's when we're doing all the vertical construction. So that's when we would start the buildings.
Okay. And do we go on Bid Connect ourselves and look for the invite, or would it be sent to us in an email? Because all my bids from Bidding Connect is always sent to me.
Understood. We will. I think the best at this point, I think the best course of action, I would probably get everyone's emails and contacts and send the link out to everyone after this meeting so they can
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the initial plan. I should have said that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Thank you guys so much. I just wanted to ask.
Understood.
Appreciate it.
Excellent question. All right, Andres.
Yeah, hi, Kevin. Under the trades, there wasn't any doors or hardware. So I'm supposing that's on phase 3.
Yeah, and I apologize. Yes, phase 3, we do have doors and hardware. That's that's an omission on my part, and I made a mistake on that.
Sweet, thank you.
Okay, I have a question from Cheryl. She says, as you're building out your subcontractor network for Lake Lytle Park, what considerations, if any, have been made around staffing and security partners who can help not only support the labor needed of those subcontractors, but also help protect and secure the park's assets, equipment, and people during active projects and after hours?
Eileen, I had a really hard time hearing. I had to turn my speaker up. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to say that again.
All right, sure. So from Cheryl, she says, as you're building out your subcontractor network for Lake Lytle Park, what considerations, if any, have been made around staffing and security partners who can help not only support the labor needed of those subcontractors, but also help protect and secure the park's assets, equipment, and people during the active project and after hours?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think we're excluding that, but we certainly will entertain that. That's something we always try to make sure we have site security. I think on this project, we were looking to do something in that nature for phase 3.
Excellent, thank you. And from Yaneska Fabiana, what is the estimated timeline for this project?
the estimated timeline, like the timeline for construction. Just want to make sure it's not for.
How about we just share both if there's multiple?
Okay, so the duration for this project is going to be 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
The 18-month project.
Okay. And then how about, I guess maybe what would the other timeline be for like turnaround after people submit bids, like when they'll hear something back, perhaps?
So we have bids. Our GMP is going to be due to the county on the 7th of May. So once we submit our GMP to the county, they will do their internal review process through each department, which will take probably most likely 2 to 3 months. So we have a target NTP date of September 9th. So we probably won't hear back from this project or hear anything from this project until most likely early September.
Okay, and then we have a question from Elena Hercule with HJ Construction Group representing CGC. And do we have to be in the building connected to have access to the plans?
No, I can send the plans directly to everyone, and that's what I intend to do. Just get everyone's contact emails, and I can send them the plans directly, so they have full access.
Okay. Nice work to Andres, sharing information about what you offer to the general contractors in the group. I mean, that's excellent use of this virtual space. So take notes. That's what the chat is for. Let's see here. All right. If by chance I missed anyone's, I don't know, Forrest, is that a hand raise? You have a question? Forrest Construction?
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay.
With the submission, is it a bid, a sealed bid, or we can just email it over?
You can email it over.
And you send the bid is due when again?
It's due the 15th
of April, right?
April.
Okay. When those like those drawing and specs will be sent out, is it sometime today or tomorrow so we can have time?
We'll get it out as soon as today.
Okay. 10-4.
Right. And I had another question in the chat. Do we email the proposal directly to you, Kevin, or must it be submitted via Building Connected?
Email it to me directly.
Okay. All right. And then I would just encourage you all to request confirmation that it's received.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question, Ms. Eileen.
Yes, go ahead.
Because on the following site, it says the RFI. This is something I was always confused about. So will we be submitting an RFP, or is this still a existing RFI? I was just confused on that, just for clarity.
Are you asking? Sorry, did you say RFI or RFP?
Well, because on the actual it says pre-bid RFI due, so that was in March. So
yeah.
So then it says bids due April 15th. So I want to know, is this still an RFI you're asking for, or just or is this an RFP? I wanted to know that.
No, so when we initially sent it out, we had a schedule set up to get all questions in, so we can get the questions vetted and sent back to the design team, which we did. So the RFI's due date is different from the due date of the bid. So we've already got RFIs in, and we submitted those to the design team. Certainly, if you do have RFIs and you have a question that you want to ask me, certainly ask me, and I can get that question answered.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, let's see. All right, so I want to again thank you all for for being here, two, for the incredible questions. You all have asked some phenomenal questions and very appreciative of that. And so now I have a question for you all. As growing businesses, as you are, participating in these events, when you say on average, obviously it's going to depend on how large the project is and the type of project. As a growing business, when you are preparing a response, can you just kind of share in the chat your scope and like how much time do you feel like you really need in order to prepare responses to bids on average? Like what is a good amount of time? Because I understand that many of you are currently working on projects and things like that, and that helps us to have a better idea of things from your perspective. So we're just asking to know, from your all's perspective, drop in the chat, when you are aware of a bid, approximately how long does it usually take to, put together a response to a bid, and any other information that might be relevant based upon like the size or things like that that might be needed. Let us know in the chat because we want to know, we want to collect that data to make sure that we identify ways to continue to better serve you. And then as well, I will direct your attention that we did drop, Kevin, I did drop your name, your contact information, your name and your email in the chat for the participants. So thank you for doing that again as well. And then I'm going to also post Laura Reese, her name, email, contact information for those that may have questions regarding the Kaufman-Linn pre-qualification process. I want to encourage everyone to, if you haven't done that process, to do it. This is one of many projects that Kaufman-Linn has across the county, and the goal is not just to support you in being able to learn about and engage with this project, but when you get pre-qualified with Kaufman-Linn, now you're already positioned when those other projects come out to be, right front and center to participate. So, and I'm hearing in the chat, I'm seeing some people say about 2 weeks is optimal to prepare a competitive bid. But can also do it in as little as 48 hours. On average, about 2 weeks, depending on the size of the project and the items that you need to procure via vendors to prepare. Let's see here, a good response for a bid, at least 4 to 5 days if questions are answered after reading through the RFP. I'm hearing on average about 2 weeks from Julian. Julian, can you add your scope again in the chat? Daniela Dubal, it can take us anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks, depending on the size. Okay, awesome. This is phenomenal. So we have gotten some great information. When you get the follow-up thank you for registering email, you will receive a copy of the presentation here. You will receive a copy of the chat so that if you want to be able to reach out to folks, we do encourage you to save it as well. We're going to send a survey. So please, we ask you to take the survey. The survey helps us to make sure that we're serving you in the best way that we can. We welcome your feedback because this is a team effort, and we're so excited to for you all have thought enough of us to give us some of your time this morning. I don't know, Kevin, do you have any other remarks to share before we go?
No, the one remark is definitely the pre-qualification process with us. I'm always encouraging everyone to just pre-qualify with us. It just makes things a lot easier when it comes to go from the bid to contract. So we don't have that downtime on, let's just say you provide us a bid and we're ready to go into contract, but we haven't gone through the pre-qualification process. It can be very daunting just trying to get that started while getting the contract out and getting a job off the ground. So, if you can get pre-qualified now and get that process going, it's a lot easier when we come to issuing contracts and doing work, essentially. So.
All right. Anybody else? Any questions? I'm looking. I see sign around. Okay, so it's time for a photo. So please, if you can, turn your cameras on. Please, if you can, turn your cameras on so that we can take a photo. And while we're getting ready for the photo, if you can please let us know, is your business certified with Palm Beach County Office of Equal Business Opportunity? Let us know in the chat. We're just interested to know. And then as well, we'll ask, is your business pre-qualified with Kaufman Lynn Construction? So you can just say, yes, we're pre-qualified with Kaufman Lynn Construction. Drop it in the chat. And then again, you want to make sure that, if you were pre-qualified at one time, that you're still pre-qualified, because I do believe you have to kind of renew or update some of those documents. All right, thanks for chiming in. And then Michelle, I'm seeing the presentation on the screen. I think you might want you're gonna be looking for a different view. And that might
Kevin,
just be
if you can stop sharing, please.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I was
Over.
still screen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Perfect. Let me get the gallery. So if we can have everybody come on camera so we get everybody's smiles. And I'll go ahead and take the picture. Might have to take a couple. It's on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let me redo that one again. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then let me get the next page. And last time, 1, 2, 3. All right. I believe I got everybody. All right. Thank you all so much.
all right. So again, we have dropped the information in the chat. And if you're not pre-qualified, you've got the link there. So we will look forward to hearing when you do become pre-qualified, because we're looking forward to continuing to support expanding that. If you are not if you do not yet have any certification with Palm Beach County Office of Equal Business Opportunity, and you would like to be certified, then we will most certainly be very happy to share information with you all for that. They are happy to, take your calls, and there's information via online. We'll ensure to be sure to include a link in the follow-up thank you as well, to give you some additional information about that. I am also dropping the post-event survey in the chat right now. So if you're able to take it, we appreciate it. It'll also come out in the, let me see here. Sorry. I think it should also come out to you all in the thank you email that will come. Thank you for registering. And I think that that's all we have. Thank you, Faye. And thanks again, of course, to Kaufman Lynn, our awesome partners in this journey. And we're, I guess that's it.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good one.